That's fucking gay. Oh my god, that is so gay.
Baby.
That is so gay.
Oh my god, isn't this like so stunning and empowering? The bald punk rock cancer patient making out with the obese redhead. Wow, amazing. Beautiful. Game of the year. Game of the decade. Game of the motherfucking century, dude.
Real talk.
Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, the game where 80% of its population is lesbians. She's married, by the way, just to let you guys know. The one with the white hair is married to a wham and committing adultery with her childhood friend. Like, look at how shit this looks, by the way. They couldn't even animate their lips touching properly. Like, as a strong, independent ally like myself, okay, who stands proudly with the ABC community, this is very disrespectful to us whammon and lesbians. You know, we whammon and lesbians kiss each other much better than whatever bullshit this is supposed to be, okay?
Real talk.
You also find a pentagram in this game and also a goat. Now, I don't really think you need to have 500 IQ to, you know, correlate what these two, you know, mean or what they're supposed to mean. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself also, well, maybe that's just a coincidence. Surely this game isn't trying to push any satanic messages or anything like that. Well, take a look at this.
See you in hell. You'll fit in well.
Do we have to, like, make a sacrifice?
Like this.
Yeah, in this game, you make a pact with the devil and do a blood pact by cutting yourself with a knife and swapping blood. Then immediately afterwards, start singing about how cool hell is.
Ow. Here.
Oh yeah, another thing is these 4 girls you just met probably like a week ago, if not sooner than that, are doing this blood pact. So always a great idea to have some open wounds and swapping blood with people you just met. You know, great idea. You know, very highly intellectual people we're dealing with right here.
I just fucking... Real talk. Real talk.
Like, for all you know, this bitch right here could very well have like 20 different STDs for all we know. Like, we don't fucking know. Like we just met the bitch. I mean, she has leukemia, but like, you know, thankfully you can't pass cancer through open wounds, nor is it contagious, thankfully. So thankfully none of us can catch her leukemia.
See you in hell. You'll fit in well.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Cost me a...
You made a deal with the devil.
Bro, I love how when you pick the you made a deal with the devil option, you get a heart.
I want to tell you...
Definitely not a satanic game though. Definitely not. Also, remember when I said 80% of the characters in this game are lesbians? That honestly might very well be an understatement, since pretty much all the females in this game are lesbians except the sister of Kat, which she's dating a white-based Chuddie.
You look like fucking clowns.
You know, everything he says is based and correct.
And basically, to nobody's surprise, the white Chud is the bad guy of the game and is bringing the lesbians down, not allowing them to live out their delusional crime or fantasies, where they legit commit arson and set buildings on fire. Like this is some sort of St. Floyd mostly peaceful riots and shit. Stupid Chud. You're supposed to let the lesbians set buildings on fire to own it to the patriarchy and shit. Fuck you, racist white supremacist Chuddies. You just don't understand the struggles of being a whammon. But yeah, it somehow gets even worse because all 4 main characters are underage and around 16 years old. And like I said before, all lesbian.
So, I'm Autumn Lockhart. I turned 16 last October.
Best sweet 16 present ever.
Yeah, what are you making, Swan? Porn?
You'd kiss me?
So would. Nora was horny as hell and wanted everyone to know it.
What the fuck were they thinking?
Wow, anybody noticing the patterns where they always make the underage children lesbians or trans or gay? But it's not really too surprising if you really think about it, since this game was made by Don't Nod, who are from Canada, the land of the cucks, the home of the cucks, the beautiful country where men can use wham in bathrooms and the crimers have more rights than the actual law-abiding citizens. Like, I know before before I said South of Wakanda was the worst game I played all year and gave that game like around a 4 out of 10, but I genuinely think Bloom and Lesbian is even worse. Like, no joke, no bullshit, no sign. No sign up.
Real talk.
It's probably a 2 out of 10 at best. It's one of the worst games I've ever played in my entire fucking life. And this isn't even like an exaggeration either. Basically, nothing happens throughout the entire game. And there's about maybe 5 or so areas at most that you'll cycle between. It's like this game had the budget of a nickel and 2 sticks of gum. The story is horrible, and the gameplay consists of playing Where's Waldo, finding some random object or item to progress to the next scene, and then videotaping the same object or people multiple times in a row to pad out the non-existent gameplay. Then on top of all of this, you're in a punk rock band.
This is fucking gay.
Which, like, how many times can these no talent, zero creativity having, unoriginal, DEI hire, body type 2, androgynous fucking creatures LARPing as the opposite body type create the same exact copy and paste bullshit story where you're in a fucking punk rock band? Like, really, what is it with these lefties and making every woke game be about your punk rock girl band or whatever? This shit isn't punk, let's be honest, let's keep it a $1.93, okay? Let's just be honest. This shit is hella fucking gay. Nobody thinks this is punk. This is not punk rock, okay? But like, seriously, we had Concord doing the rock band shit. We had that horrible Dinosaur Goodbye Volcano High game doing it, and a bunch of others, and now this game doing it. Like, nobody thinks this is cool. Not to mention, I don't think most whammon in general who play these shit movie games even like punk rock to begin with, let's be honest, okay? Most of them probably listen to Taylor Swift, you know, they're Swifties, they're Taylor Swift fans, and listen to pop music, you know, like probably like Justin Bieber and fucking One Direction. I don't know, whatever the fuck, you know, wham and be listening to these days. But anyways, at the end of tape 1, during your rock band punk rock performance and shit, where you're singing about, you know, how hell is so amazing and so great, basically everybody like shits on you. Nobody likes it because you're all dog shit.
Someone make them stop!
Oh, you can tell they weren't spanking.
So Kat passes out due to having leukemia because, you know, nobody likes it, so she passes out. So, you know,
Hear me! Stupid, dumb, fucking assholes! What should we do? You'll fit in well! Seriously, Kat! Let's just get out of here! I'll make you scream and you'll be under my spell! Kat? Kat!
if only the stupid racist white people, you know, if only they fucking liked their performance, you know, Kat with leukemia wouldn't have passed out and possibly died and fainted. Wow, great game, beautiful fucking game, peak writing right there. Like, oh my god, everybody give a round of applause right there. Oh my god, peak writing right there. Then the sad music cues. So me and the other 3,000 modern audience people who bought this trash game know it's time to start crying. Oh my bad. The other 2,996 players, because unfortunately, with most modern games, the modern audience never supports them and rather just call you racist and sexist for not buying them, despite them also not buying them, because they don't give a shit about video games, let's be honest. None of these DI hires, none of these woke fucking retards, none of these purple hair, you know, lesbians, none of these fucking idiots play video games, okay, let's be honest. It's all propaganda to them, it's all pushing the fucking message, and when you don't buy these shit fucking dog shit games, you're a racist, you're a misogynist, you're a bigot, you're every fucking ist on the planet. So with all of that bullshit out of the way, let's check out this stunning and brave masterpiece of a game, okay? Let's check it out. Let's see what all the hype is about. So when you boot up the game, you can hit new story on the main menu. You get the Don't Nod Montreal logo that appears, so you know that this game was made by Cucks, you know, from Canada. And you basically hear your mom talking to you on your phone.
More complicated.
Seriously, Swan?
you're taking her side.
Your name is Swine. My bad. I mean Swan. But I called her Swine throughout the entirety of the game because the character you play as is extremely obese and looks more like a swine than a swan. Let's be honest. Like, does this look more like a swine on the left side, or does this look more like a swan? I don't know. I mean, it looks more like a swan if you ask me. You also notice on your dashboard a mask because we are libtards out in this bitch, and we drive in our cars while wearing a fucking mask with nobody else in our car. And like, I don't mean to go on to like a side tangent or anything, but like, why do people still wear masks in their car, like alone? Like, I legitimately still see people doing that, like to this day. But like, legitimately, if you're still wearing a fucking mask in your car while you're driving alone, like, you just need to be taken out back like the family dog and, you know, be taken out of your misery, okay?
Real talk.
So for anybody who has never played any of these movie simulator type games, they basically play out as a choose your own adventure style book where you'd read a page and at the bottom of the page it'd be like, turn to page 49 if you want to do this, or turn to page 128 if you want to suck dick and be gay. That's basically what these games are. You'll be talking to somebody or doing something like, for example, in Bloomin' Lesbian, we are sitting in our car talking to our mom and we get dialogue options every now and then, and these are supposed to like impact the story or our relationships with other characters, but for the most part it usually doesn't impact them as much as the developers would like you to believe. So we're on our phone with our mom talking about going home to see her for the holidays, but first we need to meet up with our old pals back from the 90s and shit, which that is where most of this game takes place, by the way, the past in the 90s, and you will constantly alter back between the 90s and 2020s like every 5 minutes, which becomes quite annoying if we're gonna, you know, keep it a $1.99. Not only that, but you'll literally go into flashbacks of flashbacks. Like, I feel at some points we may have even went into a flashback of a flashback of a fucking flashback. Like, I'm not even joking, which is so fucking stupid. Maybe that's an exaggeration, maybe, but I know for a fact we went into flashbacks of flashbacks. But yeah, we are at this old bar we used to hang out at, or I think it used to be a movie theater and now it's turned into a bar, to meet up with our old friends to unravel and remember what happened 30 or so years ago on that eventful day back in the past in the 90s during that summer day or some shit like that. So you tell your mom bye, step outside, reminisce about your younger years because you haven't been here in about 30 years, and go inside the bar. But as you step inside, you get your first flashback.
I can't help right now, Mom. I gotta go. It's summer break, you know? It's raining. Who cares?
So now you're in your bedroom and you can see your character and realize you are a fat fuck, and you get to play through this entire game as a fat fuck. Again, hence the name Swine and not Swan. Basically, whenever you're in the flashback, you'll be in third person, but whenever you're in like the present or the future or whatever, you'll be in first person. Now, this bedroom that you're in is like one of the only 5 areas that you'll be in the entire game, so get used to seeing it. It's this bedroom, the bar, the forest, the cabin in the woods, and like maybe a couple other areas. Now, the gameplay of Where's Waldo comes into place as you need to find where your missing tape is because you need to return it back to Blockbuster. And as you search for it, you'll notice all sorts of member berries of the 90s like Tamagotchis, Rubik's Cubes, Pez dispensers, and other various bullshit. So just a bunch of nostalgia bait for the millennial wham in playing this game. After searching for the tape and finding it, your camcorder is finished charging or transferring the files. I don't know. I think maybe it's charging. I don't remember.
Perfect. I can film you a bit before I leave, Pumpkin. Let me just grab my camcorder.
And you now need to record everything in your room. Wow, fun gameplay. Look at this. Oh my god, aren't you guys having fun yet?
Exciting gameplay. So repetitive.
So after recording everything in your room and dying of literal boredom due to how insufferable it is to play this piece of shit game, you are then sent back to the present again at the bar for about 5 seconds, meet and greet the bartender, sit down, and I forgot to mention this, but look at Swine's ugly floral tattoos. Why do these body type 2s always be getting these disgusting tattoos, you know, plastered all over their fucking bodies? They never look good, and it's almost always a sign that you're a libtard, which I guess, to be fair, that's supposed supposed to be, you know, kind of the whole point, you know, to signal to other, you know, leftists that, you know, I'm one of you guys, you know. It's the same thing with like the colored hair and shit. But anyways, as you sit down, you look up at a deer trophy head thing, and it reminds you of your past when you used to film deer and wildlife. So we are already having another flashback after being in the present for like a grand total of 20 seconds. Get used to the shit because it happens constantly. You record a bunch of animals.
I can't stop laughing. I can't stop laughing.
Then after about 2 minutes, you go back to the present again to the bar.
Thanks for waiting. Didn't mean to scare you. I'm Gus.
And you find out the bartender's name is Gus, and he has probably one of the worst cuts you've ever seen in your entire life.
Got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick.
Not to mention looks hella uncanny and just like I don't know, like he just looks gay, okay, let's be honest. So you give him your phone to charge, then he asks if you want a drink since it's happy hour, but you decline since you need to use the bathroom. So you head over to the bathroom and someone is in it. So we get our third or fourth, maybe even fifth flashback at this point. I've already lost count. Maybe it's the 20th flashback, who the fuck knows. And this is where you first meet Nora and Autumn. These two will become your friends. Then again, we get sent back to the present and see Autumn's present self, and goddamn, time did not do her well. At least she ditched the colorful clown hair finally. I guess it was just a phase after all. But back in the past, you get some ice cream because fatty's gotta eat.
A big boy's gotta eat.
I'll take a rainbow snow. I like it. It's sour.
You've got good taste.
Also, what's really funny about this game is I don't think most people had clown dyed hair or even dyed hair in general back in those days. I think that was more of an early 2000s thing, maybe like a late 90s thing. Then on top of all this, despite the game taking place in the 90s, it really does not feel like the 90s at all, as in the way most of the characters talk and act, as with the obvious shit like all the characters being gay despite it being, you know, kind of like a little bit looked down back in those days, you know, just a little bit. Simpler times, you know, more based times. Although, let's be honest, the 90s did have its fair share of woke bullshit. It was just much more subtle back then instead of how blatant it is nowadays. Thankfully, though, your Latina queen will make sure to always be truthful to her subjects and would never lie to anybody. So if you want to be Latina pilled and based, make sure to join the Latina kingdom and like this video, as I, your Latina queen, will never let you down. Ever.
Yes, latinaparfait, I could never forget you.
So you enter the bathroom and have another flashback. You talk with the girls you just met and exchange some very cringe dialogue.
Our periods are actually not synchronized?
Whoa! Does that make us not best friends anymore?
Go climb up the building to videotape some shit and find some very, like super duper very misogynistic, objectifying Whammon magazine. Like, this isn't very realistic, you know? Like, no real Whammon looks like this. These are very unrealistic body proportions, dude. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, all women in real life look like whales, you bigot game developers. This is not realistic to Whammon. But on a real note, okay, like, let's be real, okay? Why does this magazine cover have a better designed character than the actual characters you play as, such as Swine and the actual characters that you are friends with? Like, can we get a game based off this magazine instead? Like, unironically, the best part about this game is this magazine right here that you're seeing literally right fucking here. There's also another magazine in this game later on that's literally a copy and paste of Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy IV. Like, I'm surprised for such, you know, a woke piece of shit game. It really is surprising how they can put shit like this in the game, you know? So you then take a seat because you've been walking for the past 45 seconds and have beaten your previous record of walking for 42 seconds. So you need to rest and catch your breath after this accomplishment and achievement. You then see a woman and a guy on the other side of the building, but you can't hear them, so you try and pretend what they are saying.
Babe, are my boobs
boobs tanning evenly? You can straddle my hog anytime, baby.
And also, since we are lesbians out in this bitch, we need to get a good long shot of those mommy moo milkers. Like, we aren't perverts or anything, okay? But we can't really pass up on this opportunity right here. It's like if Shakira showed up to your bed at 3 in the morning and was naked. Like, you obviously aren't going to pass up on that opportunity.
Just fucking real talk. Real talk.
Just like how I'm not gonna pass up on the opportunity of filming these moo milkers, you know? You then climb back down the ladder and remember you need to call your mom and she needs you to come home to help her. So you then head through the shortcut, through the fence, but you see a balloon, and since we're like 5 years old, okay, we need to video record this balloon. But as you're recording the balloon, the woman who we were recording up on the top of the building gets mad since she thinks we were recording her when we were just recording the balloon.
What? Weren't you just recording me, weirdo?
So you say you weren't recording her, even though we just were on top of the building.
I saw you pointing that thing straight at me. I'm not an idiot.
I wasn't just now.
Don't play dumb.
Promise.
Give me that camera, now.
Well, maybe not so much her, but more so her plump and Capri Sun-filled melons on top of the building, okay? But she obviously doesn't believe us because like most people who aren't mentally challenged, they are going to call bullshit when they hear it. Like, can you really blame her though? Who the fuck just records a random balloon they see out in the wild, okay? Who does that? She even calls us a lesbian pervert. Like, excuse me, ma'am?
Are you some kind of lesbo pervert?
Oh my god! What the fuck? Whoa! Whoa!
That's not very LGBT 1, 2, 3, XYZ, up, down, left, right, AB, select, start inclusive of you, okay? That's not very inclusive. Maybe I identify as a pervert. Do you have a problem with that, you bigot? So you tell her it really was the balloon behind her.
There's nothing there. I'm not stupid.
And she turns around and the balloon isn't there, so she doesn't believe you despite you literally having the footage of you recording it. But that's besides the point. Swine here isn't the most high IQ person to mention she has the footage. She then activates based mode and calls Swine ugly.
You know what? I hate ugly girls like you. So why don't you just get out of my face?
Very based. Extremely based, I'd say.
Then her boyfriend Corey, the based Chuddie, comes over.
We got a problem here.
She's harassing me.
C-A-P.
The most based character and only good character in the entire game comes over, and again, obviously they make him out to be the bad guy and the one we should all be hating on. Then after a bit, this girl who legit looks like she's 10 years old comes over and saves the day by protecting us from the big mean old bully. Oh my god, you guys, the fucking bully, he's harassing us.
Leave her alone, loser.
What?
Whoa. How could you even say that? I'm a Sigma.
Then the other two girls come over and the Chud is starting to get tired of this bullshit. So he wants to get this woman some ice cream, but they already closed shop.
First, let's get some ice cream. My treat.
No thanks. I don't want anything.
Yeah, you do. I know you.
Fine. Sorrel cone.
And that makes the Chud mad because, you know, he wants to get his girlfriend an ice cream like any good Chud boyfriend. So he takes Autumn's keys and tosses them over the fence.
Closed.
Bitch.
Hey! Give them back!
I'm
Stop!
sick of this shit. Go fetch!
That's what you get. That's what you fucking get, bitch.
So you gotta go retrieve the keys. During this time, you bond with these 3 other girls. Nora, the disgusting goth girl who smokes cigarettes. Kat, the 10-year-old who is the sister of Dylan, the girl who's dating the Chud. Kat also has daddy issues because of course she does. And you can't be a leftist without having daddy issues, you know? And Autumn, the fellow queen who works at the ice cream shop. And so you 4 all become friends. And describing the gameplay here is basically you need to find the keys, then find a brick to throw at the keys to knock them down. So in other words, the gameplay is dog shit and basically non-existent and basically just more where's fucking Waldo at. And the story isn't much better, it's probably actually even worse somehow. As a story recap, not much has happened so far and it's been mostly filled with cringe dog shit writing.
dated this woman I met on one of those apps for a bit last year.
I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, we're totally gay.
And horrible pacing, and pretty much nothing has happened so far.
They can't hear me.
Hey! She actually showed.
So you then meet up with your new friends at their garage and you videotape them playing in their shitty band.
Make it stick, cause I can.
You then go into the woods at night, which I just want to ask, where are these girls' parents at? Like, what parents just allow their kids to wander and go into the woods in the middle of the fucking night? But maybe that's whatever, I guess. I don't know.
I want to go in.
This is hilarious!
So you find this abandoned cabin, which you break into and solve some shitty Resident Evil style puzzles and make it your new hideout or base. Later on, you do the blood pact shit with the devil, and after that, you find this abyss or chasm in the ground, and basically you all throw shit into it, making wishes, and it grants your powers and shit. Which I've never seen the movie Chronicle, but what the EGAT told me this is like copying or ripping off that movie. I don't know too much about that movie, but I thought, hey, why not mention it or bring it up? Also, go check out what the EGAT's channel.
Real talk.
And so you get more of these flashbacks within flashbacks where the Chud shows up and is trying to take Kat back home.
Cool. Whatever. Your dad sent me to get you, Kat.
If he wants me home so bad, he can come and get me himself.
I would have fucking pimp slapped that shit out of that.
But she's not afraid of her dad and doesn't want to go back home because she's a powerful whammon. So because these whammon are strong and independent creatures and brave and shit, their eyes glow purple, which means that their powers they asked for were granted by Satan or the chasm, which probably is only there because they made the pact with the devil earlier. So their new powers stop the Chud from taking Kat from them.
You know, I gotta ask. What's with all the makeup? You look like a fucking whore.
Did he go based again? He went too based. Normies can't handle it.
Huh? Did you say something? I can't hear you. I don't listen to fucking losers.
Oh, shut up!
Whoa. How could you even say that? I'm a Sigma.
So you threaten the Chud by saying we'll videotape you trying to kidnap us. And when you videotape, he's labeled as bully.
I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
I'd like to see you try.
Shut your bitch ass the fuck up!
Whoa! Hey, Swan, film him. We can report him for attempted kidnapping.
Don't you dare!
Loved being filmed.
Shut up, you dumb bitch!
Good, now I'm away from that annoying fucking bitch of a kid who I would have slapped in real fucking life if they talked to me like that. I would have fucking pimp slapped that shit out of that.
Which, I don't know, I find that shit hilarious. Like, you know this entire game is probably based on these diversity hire developers' childhoods. It's also funny since Kat's dad told the Chud to bring Kat back home, yet somehow that is kidnapping. Like, this is the most retarded game I've ever played. So after that, you get this super cool and empowering montage and shots of the four girls and their new makeup and clothing, and of course the Black Queen has fierce on her forehead, because you know Black Queens are like tigers and shit. You can't control them. They are like wild and shit, you know? But yeah, extremely cringe and radioactive levels of gayness. But basically, you are about to play your music uninvited and just on the side of the road, but you have no place to plug in your amp and equipment, so you need to break into the bar so you can plug in your equipment there. You also place stickers around everywhere to advertise your sick, cool band, Bloomin' Rage, oh my god. But as you're getting ready to play, the based Chud comes out and tells us what we've all been thinking and feeling this whole time.
You look like fucking clowns.
And he hit, you know, everything he says is based and correct.
And so you play your shitty music, nobody likes it, it makes Kat upset, so she has a meltdown and then passes out due to her leukemia.
That's what you get. That's what you fucking get, bitch.
Like, you just know the devs thought they were cooking up something real good with this ending. Like, just something real special, something real fucking yummy and tasty to my tummy. Oh my god, like, wow, dude. We're going to make, like, all the 14-year-old girls who watch Hassan and Destiny cry over this one, dude. Like, we're going to get all the Blue Sky users to play this and talk about this game for days, if not weeks, if not for months and years, dude, about how deep and how good this story is and how it's bad to bully and harass people because they might have leukemia and they might die. But yeah, I'm obviously getting pretty sick of these hack developers, as, you know, most people are. So anyways, the sad music cues, and that's the end of the first tape, Bloom, which is called Bloom because it's like a flower blooming in the spring, you know? Like, you know, all women, you know, they bloom in the spring. They're so beautiful and, you know, amazing. All women are. And it also represents your friendship with these girls you just met. Wow, I know I keep saying this, but so empowering. Oh my god. The next tape is called Rage because you are now full of rage and shit and commit arson by setting shit on fire and being rebels and shit and, you know, cutting off your hair. So cool, dude. And we're about to speedrun tape 2, as in I'll just be rapid firing through what happens since I'm not trying to make this review 2 hours long. And aside from the cringe dog shit dialogue, not much happens, as with, you know, most of this game. But anyways, at the start of tape 2, it's about opening this box, but you don't remember the code and aren't allowed to actually break the box either because Kat wouldn't have wanted that. She would have wanted us to remember the code. Alright, you're not alone. Can't just break the lock. Yeah, why can't we just break the lock? Look at that rusty ass lock. You telling me you can't break that off?
Can't we just break the lock somehow?
No way. Kat would want us to remember.
Bro, shut the fuck up. What the fuck is this bullshit? Kat would want us to remember the code? Are you fucking kidding me? What is that bullshit ass Well, this is the most stupidest shit I've... What the fuck? Which is so stupid. But anyways, little side tangent, I love how Swine's phone's home screen or lock screen is basically just 2 lesbians kissing. Again, you guys really thought I was exaggerating with that 80% lesbian shit, but no, everybody here is lesbians or gay or bisexual or some form of LGBTQ, ABC 1, 2, 3, you know, triangle, you know, aside from Kat's sister and the Chud. And that's why the Chud has to die at the end of tape 2, because we can't have straight men living, spreading their seeds and shit. And basically for the first half of tape 2, nothing really happens until you and Nora decide to sneak into Kat's house since she is like grounded or some shit and isn't allowed to see her friends anymore since she passed out in the last tape. So you get this shitty little stealth section to get to Nora, and you find out she is now bald or has cut off most of her hair. Now while you're up in Kat's room, you decide to talk with her for a long ass time instead of actually climbing back out the window and not wasting time. So instead you cut off the rest of her hair and you scavenge through her room, as with taping all of her shit. And I don't know if Kat just doesn't believe in tampons or what, but most of her shit is covered in some nasty fucking period blood. Like, oh my god, this shit is disgusting, dude.
Real talk.
But anyways, the Chud and Dylan come into Kat's room since Swine and Kat were taking all day instead of just, you know, hopping out the fucking window. And Kat hides outside the window while they talk, but left her camcorder, and the Chud finds the camera and knows that Fatty has been in her room and basically takes it. You know, he got that fatty sense, you know?
You're not going anywhere. Got it? Oh, your loser friend was...
Oh no, he took our camera. Shit, we gotta get that back. So later that night, Swine and Nora are in the woods together in their usual hangout spot and kiss. Oh my god, we got the romantic option. Oh shit. The lesbian action. The lesbian action, you guys. We got it. Since this game is a lesbian's fantasy or power fantasy or whatever, and we are basically 2/3 through the second tape already, and almost nothing has happened other than meeting up with Kat and finding out she's bald, but that really didn't do anything or advance the plot since we are now back at square one without her, which is how we started the beginning of tape 2. Not to mention, not much shit has happened in the first tape either, other than the blood pact and the ending where Kat passed out. The pacing in this game is fucking atrocious. So you end up up going back to the abyss chasm thing, and Cat also shows up, and I think we're getting more powers from the chasm as it literally cuts right to us having masks and shit. And of course one of us is wearing a literal plague doctor mask, as if this game couldn't get any more cringe. It does in fact get more cringe. So you then start to vandalize the gifts and gun store, which is a great idea. Let's vandalize the store that sells guns, which to be fair, at least they aren't doing it during business hours, but it's still fucking retarded, let's be honest. Let's keep it a $1.99. But you know, obviously guns are bad, dude, and these guns kill the deers and shit. Oh my god, the poor innocent deers. Save the poor deers. So you spray paint some cars, break the windows, commit your black activities, rearrange some carrots into the shape of a dick because we're 12 years old and obviously lid dicks are like super big funny, dude. Like, isn't that funny? Insert Reddit chuckle. Oh my god, bro, so fucking funny. So after that, you set the entire place on fire.
Your family's whole business? I know you hate them, but
I have to even the score.
Yeah, she has to even the score by setting everything on fire and destroying her family's business. This is where the Chud Corey works at, so obviously we need to own it to the Chuddie by setting his workplace on fire. Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, this is also where Cat's father works, which is incredibly smart. Let's destroy your father's business, who puts food on the table for you, your mom, and probably also your sister and everybody else that you live with, and also is paying for your cancer treatments. Let's set his entire business on fire so we lose all our money. Like, this genuinely is one of the wokest piece of shit games out there. And not only is it the wokest, but like the story is just absolute dog shit. So afterwards, you go to the barn, which is also part of the same gun business, and you free the deer because deer lives matter, dude. You can't be locking up deers to kill them and feed them to people. That's like, you know, wrong. We're animal activists. We only consume soy milk, soylent, and plant-based meats. But I don't know, this whole part about freeing the deer is so fucking gay and stupid. But yeah, you break into the barn and free them all. So the Chud shows up again and is pissed that you set his store on fire and let all the deer go, so he chases you into the woods. You get to your hideout cabin, lock the door, do some sort of gay ritual where you say Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth, Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth, Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth over and over.
Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth, Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth, Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth, Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth.
And then depending on who you romance, you're able to kiss them at this point where they are all doing their cult-like dance. This Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth thing is also the code to open up the box back in present time. And then Cat passes out for the 50th time at this point. The Chud eventually gets to the cabin and you let him in and he sets the place on fire. Then you run again to the hole, the Chud chases you, and then Cat gets her feminist power trip where the 5-foot bald, 90-pound cancer patient beats up the Chud. There's no way that fucking 10-year-old like Cat could take him out. Is he gonna fall into the thing?
No, leave.
Girl power, she. Oh my god, she's beating the fuck out of him. Yo, whammon empowerment, am I right?
What the fuck were they thinking?
He has to pay for what he's done.
Yeah, that's right, he has to pay for being born as a white male. How dare you be born as a white male, you fucking pig. So he gets beat up by Cat, and then he grabs onto Cat and takes her down into the hole, and they both presumably die.
Don't hurt her! Stop! No!
Wait, do they both die? They both fucking die? Shit. I mean, the cancer patient was gonna die anyway, so, like, It's not really much of a loss, let's be honest. But not really, because they do a sequel bait with a tape 3, as in you'll have to come back to the chasm and into the hole to save Kat in tape 3.
Please, come. Find me. I'm here. The abyss.
You failed. You're done. It's over. You lose. Good day, sir.
Wow, I'm sure they definitely can afford to make a tape 3 with those 3,000 players they got on Steam. They sure made a fortune with this game, didn't they? So some loud noises play and they all pass out and the hole is now gone, as with the Chud and Kat. So since Kat sacrificed herself to kill the Chud and own it to the Chud or whatever, Swine, Nora, and Autumn all make a promise to never come back here ever again and never to see each other ever again. So you then go back to the present after remembering all of this and putting the Raven, Sun, Moon, Moth code into the box, and it's basically a time capsule holding all the shit that you put into it when you were all kids. Then Autumn left me as with Nora a while back, and so I'm alone at the end of the game because I got the bad ending where nobody stayed with me. RIP. Truly unfortunate. But there's no way I'm ever replaying this dog shit game again to get the good ending where I make both Nora and Autumn stay with me. You then get the sequel bait and the game ends. Thank God, like holy shit, what a dog shit game. The fact that this game has nearly 3,000 reviews and an 89% positive rating on Steam should really just show how these normies have infiltrated gaming and should really just be a wake-up call that there are people out there, people actually exist out in the wild who unironically enjoyed or liked this bore fest of a game. The game was like maybe 8 hours long, maybe slightly less, maybe slightly more, I don't really remember, but way too long for one of these style of games. Nothing ever really happened and it was a slog to play through. Like honestly, there really is no redeeming qualities to this game. It's actually worse than South of Wakanda, and if I'm gonna be honest, this is like a 2 out of 10. Extremely woke, boring, repetitive fucking gameplay, horrible pacing, horrible story, terrible performance. Like I was legit getting 40 to 50 frames with a 4070 Ti, and the worst story I've ever had the displeasure of playing in a long ass time. I wouldn't even recommend this game to my worst enemies, okay? But yeah, that's everything. Fuck this game. It's a piece of shit. Don't play it.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out. Real talk.